Hi everyone, my name is Lisbeth Chavez, and in today's presentation, I will be discussing how public education in the United States has evolved and changed over time. I will talk about the significant court decisions, democracy in education, immigration, equity versus equality, the variety of different school types, federal acts, and how teaching has advanced, as well as one area that still requires development. I hope you guys enjoy. Each of these cases improved students' rights. Tinker acknowledged that young people don't give up their rights at the schoolhouse gates. He protected students' free speech. Lau understood the demands of bilingual students. Rowley and Andrew advocated for greater support for disabled students in schools. Filer and Doe highlighted that every child has the right to an education regardless of immigration status. Andrew F. Douglas County raised expectations for what counts as meaningful education for students with disabilities. Education in America has always been linked to democracy. The early leaders believed that a free country could only survive if its citizens were educated enough to make good decisions, especially the ones who could vote, participate in society, and make moral choices. Public schools became places not just to teach reading and math, but also responsibility, values, and civic duty. The Northwest Ordinance of 1787 reinforced this by setting aside lands for schools, showing that education was seen as a national priority for democracy. In the past, public schools have represented America's diversity. This was sometimes a good thing, such as the idea of children from various backgrounds learning together. Sometimes it was painful, such as segregation or discrimination. Immigration still continues to affect schools, providing both richness and new concerns, such as how to help these English learners and undocumented kids. I agree that this still remains a critical issue for our schools to address. And the Jim Crow laws reinforced unequal schooling. Equality sounds fair in theory, giving everyone the same thing, but in reality, not all students start from the same place. Equality means treating everyone the same, while equity means giving students what they individually need. Equity is all about fairness in results, not just in resources. It is making sure that every child has what they need to succeed, even if that looks so different for each student. And for example, since I'm currently as a kindergarten teacher, equity would be giving every one of my students an iPad for the implementation of technology in classrooms. But equity is making sure that the students that I have without internet at home also get a hotspot. All in all, I agree that equity closes these gaps. Public education in the United States includes several types. The main and most common is traditional public schools. They are sponsored by local taxes. Charter schools remain public but have more flexibility in how they operate. Magnet schools focus in areas such as science, technology, or the arts, and they are designed to attract students from a variety of different backgrounds. Vocational or technical schools prepare students for professions and careers, whereas virtual schools such as UMass Global have evolved alongside technology, providing us students with access to online study. Each of these types of schools reflect on the various needs and goals of students and the communities. These laws show that the federal government influences education, the three federal and educational acts. ESEA was about fairness for low-income schools. FERPA protects students' privacy, and it gave families control over student records. And IDEA guaranteed services for students with disabilities, having the right to proper services and support. ESEA was about fairness for low-income schools. Teaching has changed drastically. A century ago, schools were very tiny, focused primarily and purely on core topics. Today's classrooms use technology, provide a variety of resources and courses, and focus a higher grade or priority on student interactions, diversity, and preparation for a global society. Nowadays, the majority of teachers don't just lecture, but guide, support, and inspire students using a wide range of strategies and methods. I also noticed how teachers back then were the strict authority, whereas now we are facilitators and mentors. I believe that one thing that still needs to change and is the biggest concern / challenge is equity. I agree that too many schools still lack resources and achievement gaps are still wide for low-income students, children of color, and English learners. If education is generally going to be the greatest tool for equity, we must continue to knock down these obstacles to learning. Schools must also better prepare students for employment, careers, and remove systematic barriers that prevent equal opportunities. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation.